right, let's look at another example. Got a factor on top, factor the function. Top's already factored, slow as it'll go. But the bottom is a difference of two perfect squares. Factors as x minus 3x plus 3. Looking at the degree of the numerator, it's 1. The degree of the denominator is 2. Again, bigger on bottom, which means my horizontal asymptote is y equals 0. If I have a horizontal asymptote, I do not have a slant asymptote. Looking for my x-intercepts, take the top piece, set it equal to 0, and solve. So x equals 3 halves. So negative 3 halves, no, positive 3 halves, sorry. So I'm going to go, I could go ahead and put a dot at my x-intercept. I don't have a removable discontinuity, so my vertical asymptotes are negative 3 and 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put all those things on the graph. So here's my vertical asymptote at negative 3, the dot at 3 halves, which is 1.5, and there's my other asymptote. All right, so moving down to the bottom, you remember your critical values are your x values that you found. So I've got one at negative 3. That's an asymptote. At 1.5 is a 0, or an x-intercept. And then at 3 is another asymptote. I'm going to put my factors over on the left-hand side so that I can figure out what the graph is doing in each one of these locations. So I've got the 2x minus 3, and then x minus 3, x plus 3. All right, so taking all of the values to the left of negative 3, any one of them, it doesn't matter, plug it in. 2 times negative 4 minus 3 would be negative. Negative 4 minus 3 would be negative. Negative 4 plus 3 would be negative. So a negative, negative, negative. In between, use 0, that's always the easiest. Top one would be negative, the next one would be negative, but the third piece, 0 plus 3, that one would be positive. All right, going in between 1.5 and 3, let's use 2. Positive, negative, positive. And then going to the right of that 3, so I'll use 4, that'd be positive, positive, positive. So it's going to be all positive on this side. All right, so that means my overall function to the left of the first vertical asymptote, negative, 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 it's going to be negative below the x-axis. In between, it's going to be positive. This one will be negative and positive. All right, so negative, positive, negative, positive. All right. So that means to the left of that vertical asymptote, it has to be below the x-axis. All right, this next piece is a little weird because at the 0, it drops below the x-axis. But before that, it's above. So it's above it right here, but then it drops below. All right, so this one looks different than the last one we did. And then the last piece, it all has to be above the x-axis. So looks like that. All right. I hope that kind of helps.